So, what happens when you drop an expert in ancient human societies into a room full of people building our digital future? It sounds a bit like the setup for a joke, right? But it's not. It's actually the key to building better AI.
The world of AI is built on logic, on data, on efficiency. But as these systems weave themselves into every part of our lives, you gotta ask, in this race to optimize the code, are we forgetting about the complex, messy, and deeply human world it's supposed to be serving?
Picture this. On one side, you've got the engineers, the people literally building our future. And on the other, you have anthropologists, the people who study our past. They seem like they're worlds apart, but believe it or not, they're both trying to solve for the exact same variable: us. An AI expert? Their focus is on system performance, making the machine run better, faster, smarter. But the anthropologist, they take a big step back and ask a totally different kind of question. How does this machine actually fit into the complicated and, let's be honest, often illogical world of human culture? And this isn't some kind of competition. The real breakthrough happens when we stop seeing this as technology versus humanity and start seeing it for what it is: a really powerful collaboration. So, what does that collaboration actually look like? Well, anthropology brings this crucial toolkit to the table. It helps define those slippery but vital concepts like fairness or privacy, which mean very different things across different cultures. It uses methods like ethnography, basically observing people in their natural habitats, to find out how we really use these tools, which, let me tell you, is often a huge surprise to the people who design them. It also puts the training data under a microscope to find cultural biases, and helps us see AI not just as code, but as a cultural artifact that reflects who we are.
And hey, this is a two-way street. AI gives anthropologists superpowers. Suddenly, they can analyze massive cultural datasets to see patterns that would be totally invisible to the human eye. Online communities, those are brand new digital field sites for research. And incredibly powerful AI tools can even help document and preserve endangered languages. It can be a real force for preserving culture.
When you put all this together, it leads to a much, much bigger idea. We have to start seeing AI for what it's really becoming: one of the main engines of cultural transmission. It's not just a tool anymore, it's actively shaping what we learn, what we share, and what we pass on to the next generation. It's becoming part of our cultural DNA.
I mean, think about it. Every recommendation algorithm, every language model is actively molding our culture. It's literally rewiring how knowledge and values get passed around. So the critical question becomes, who's directing this rewiring?
Well, we have to start by treating ethics not as some feature you add on later, but as the fundamental architecture of the whole system. The values that developers code into these things, they become the invisible laws that govern our digital world, shaping our society on a massive scale. And this isn't just for developers. The rest of us need a whole new kind of literacy. I'm not talking about learning to code, but just understanding how these systems work. Because without that, we risk becoming passive consumers of a culture that's just curated for us by algorithms, instead of being the ones who actively create it. It's really about preserving our own human agency. This whole way of thinking, seeing technology and culture as a single ecosystem, it's not actually new. To understand where we're going, it helps to look to a visionary thinker from the past. Decades ago, an anthropologist named Gregory Bateson came up with this idea he called the ecology of mind. He saw that ideas, communication, and technology don't just exist on their own. Nope. They form a complex, interconnected system, a lot like a natural ecosystem where every single part influences the whole. You can see the direct parallel here, can't you? Bateson studied information patterns in the early days of computing. Today, the AI anthropologist studies how algorithmic patterns shape our culture. The goal is exactly the same: combine the technical and the cultural views to see the whole system, not just the lines of code. So this brings us to the big takeaway. The future of artificial intelligence isn't just about better code or faster processors. It fundamentally depends on having a deeper, more nuanced understanding of humanity itself. So for this critical role to really take hold, there's a pretty clear path. It means reframing technical problems in human terms. It means creating bridge concepts that people on both sides can understand. And it means leveraging that unique position of being fluent in two languages: the language of culture and the language of code. This is not about rejecting technology. It's about enriching it. It's about building AI that doesn't just process data, but actually understands context and culture and meaning.
At the end of the day, it's about designing a more human algorithm.
So we're left with this. AI is already shaping our culture. That ship has sailed. The only question that matters now is, who is designing it for humanity?